Right, we here, we now. Hello everyone, Kiwi here. Today with my draft analysis for Little Cup Wars, a new draft league that I've recently joined. Now, I will preface this now. This is my first ever draft league. So if the picks seem a bit weird, that's why. I'm not used to doing this. And also, hence the name Little Cup Wars. Everything in this that has been drafted will be from Little Cup. So first pick, round one, I was going to grab Timber, but that got sniped. Also, I was pick number 3 for going through the list. So two people before me, one of the guys already snagged the Timber, so I was like, that's annoying. But in some ways I'm happy with this more, in other ways I'm disappointed with it. But hey, I got myself Mienfu. I'm okay with that. This thing has two amazing abilities, being Reckless and Regenerator. Regenerator, just being able to restore its HP when it switches out. Reckless, being able to just make its high jump kick do so much more damage. This thing gets access to amazing moves like you can run it in like so many different ways. You can bulk up, Calm Mind, just fake out Reckless high jump kick. You can run it Scarf. You can run it as like a bulky attacker. You can run it for some utility with like Taunt and U-turn. And Poison Jab, you can run some Z moves on it. It's just so many different things it can do. And from watching some of the other like leagues on YouTube from that, like the UCL, the GBA, I think I've learned that versatility is a good thing. So yeah. Also, bland nickname .jpg for Jackie Chan. The next one being my round 2 pick. Now, something that I regularly do when making teams is I forget to put a setup sweeper on it. And I didn't want to do that this time, and I also wanted a really decent mod. So I decided to pick up Jam Marshalda. Yes, that is a stolen nickname. This thing, having the ability Skill Link, making all its multi-hit attacks hit 5 times, is just, I love it as an ability. Breaks through things with like Substitute Up. This thing, I was checking how much speed it reached. It does reach 14, which, I mean, that's gonna deter me from like making it Scarf like 90% of the time. But you never know, could happen. This thing has a pretty good defensive stat, being 100, so it can take a hit while shell smashing up, which is something that I need to keep in mind. Just Shell Smash, Icicle Sphere, Razor Shell, Rock Blast, just can demolish some teams if in the right place at the right time. I mean, this thing even gets Rapid Spin if I want to use it for that. I could run this thing special with like Hydro Pump, Ice Beam. I mean, oh yeah, it's also got Ice Shard with some priority, which, yeah, that's pretty good for what I think is being my second pick. Round 3, I was like, okay, I need some actual like proper bulk and something to take some like electric type attacks and things like that. So here I have Fungo, my Fungus. This thing, given a Violite, which comes a ton more bulky. I mean, you could run it with a Vexor, but Regenerator makes this thing just always being able to come back in, just be a big nuisance to you a lot of the time. And Clear Smog to get rid of target stat changes, things try to set up things like Foul Play I can use as well. The big game changer for me picking this thing like Spore as well could just completely shut down like one member of their team unless they're running Sleep Talk. I mean, fair play on their behalf if they're running it. And like the things that can switch on Spore grass types cannot take a Sludge Bomb, most of them. Yeah, I just think this is pretty good for one of my picks for me. I mean, the bulk on it is pretty decent, to be honest. From what I understand of Little Cup, it's pretty good. Now, next pick here, we have Drillbur. Diglett was available, I will say this, but I thought to myself, Diglett is a one-trick pony. It traps you, and that's pretty much it. I want something where you don't know what it's going to do. And honestly, Drillbur could be that thing for me. This thing can get Sand Rush, just in case I want to set up the Sandstorm with anything. I don't know if anything does get Sandstorm here, but it could be a force to be reckoned with. Also gets Mold Breaker, which I like. Allows it to get past 30 on Magnemite, get past 30 on Onyx, Be able to hit Ghastly with Levitate, if I'm correct. That should be how it's going. That should be how it works. You know, Earthquakes and get Brick Break if you want to use that. Poison Jab, what do you call it, X-Scissor. And this also gives me a Stealth Rocker, and I think I mentioned it already, but Rapid Spinning as well. I want a good Rapid Spinner. Now, the reason this thing is nicknamed Zura, there's a character from a show that I like, that when I seen Drillbur's face, just instantly reminded me of that character. I'll put a picture of it up on the side of the screen so you can see it, but it just reminds me so much of that, and that character says Zura all the time, so I'm just gonna go with it. Next here we have basic dog name Rufus, the Houndour. At this point in my draft I was thinking, right, so a lot of the good dark types are going, and I also want something with good fire stab, so Houndour was the pick for me. Even though it is quite frail, I do think so. I mean, I can run its Focus Sash, I can run its Scarf, like, I could even run it. I don't think running a Violite would be the best idea, but you never know. This thing also having Flash Fire allows it just switching on fire type attacks, deters my opponent from going for them. Then gets things like Dark Pulse, Fire Blast. I mean, you can even run Destiny Bond on it. This thing gets Pursuit just in case, like, an Abra or something is. Oh, excuse me. An Abra or like a Ghastly is switching out on you. You can like hit it with the Pursuit to break its Focus Sash, or if it's not Focus Sash, maybe even kill it, and get some priority in there. Also get Sucker Punch. Also, you never know, Taunt and Will-O-Wisp for shutting something down. I want to switch into this thing like Spritzy, I think. Can switch into this. I don't know, I've not really used Houndour too much. But, you know, be fun to use. Next up we have hashtag Death Fodder, which is what this thing will be used for 90% of the time. I wanted Sticky Web. This would be a big factor. I thought I'd grab the best Sticky Webber on, like, in Little Cup in my opinion. This is the best one. It's fast. Yeah, that's pretty much it, it's just fast. I mean, this thing could use priority Aqua Jet, like Focus Sash, can have Focus Sash, like, so, say that, like, I could just run Focus Sash on this thing, and then I set up the Sticky Web here, and then I could just thief them, like, get rid of a Violite real quick. I mean, this thing gets stuff like Giga Drain, and this one also gets the ability Swift Swim, which, while may not be useful for this mon specifically, while it does get Rain Dance, and so did many other things, Rain Dance could be used later on, as you'll see, for my team. So yeah, I'll probably be using this thing for laying up Sticky Web. Now, those are my first 6 picks, on to my next 6. Right, I'm going to have, this is my quickly second re-record of this second half because the mic went really distorted. So I'm just going to go over these ones quickly again. So yes, that's why there was a cut there, if you guys were wondering. Yes, so we're on to Taylor Swift here. That's an interesting nickname, I know, I'm so original. Guts and Scrappy, 2 amazing abilities. This thing, like, it gets Hurricane. You can run this with, like, Flame Orb set with, like, Guts, Flame Orb, Facade, Brave Bird, just quite a bit of damage. Quick Attack, U-Turn. On the special side, you could, like, Choice Specs, Life Orb. You can, Hurricane, Heat Wave, Boom Burst. And it's pretty fast, which was something I was definitely missing. I wanted something above, like, a 19 speed tier. So next we have Smashing by Cranidos. 2 amazing abilities again, Mold Breaker, Sheer Force. Tell me what can take a Sheer Force head smash from this thing. Tell me. Except for things that resist rock, tell me. Not much, honestly. And this thing boasting the highest attack stat in Little Cup, pretty good. I mean, was it like 16 speed? That's not too bad. I could run maybe Scarf on that. Get some surprise kills, you never know. Next up here, is the pick I'm really iffy about. Actually, you know, let's go over Crando some more. I don't feel like I gave this thing enough justice. You can click Head Smash, which I will be 90% of the time. I think it's Crunch, I think it's Earthquake, I think it's Fire Punch, Hammer Arm, like, Power Up Punch if you want to go that route, Rock Polish. I mean, I could use this for another thingy. Stealth Rocks, you never know. Superpower, Thunder Punch, Zen Headbutt. So many good physical attacks. You get boosted by sheer force. It's so good. Anyways, enough about the Grandos. Yes, surfboard. This thing. Now, this was the only pick I was iffy about. Okay, because I was like, Tentacle is there, but I kind of want a flying type to prevent people from just spamming Earthquake against me. I mean, yeah, it wasn't something I was thinking at the time, but I just thought now. I'm going to pretend like I did. Yeah, this thing also has a pretty respectable SPDF stat, even so. This thing, Water Absorb, can switch into water attacks. Now, as I was mentioning earlier with the Surskit, the Rain Dance can set that up. Set up a nice Rain Dance, so that, like I say, I set up with a Sticky Web with Surskit. I set up the Rain Dance while then Surskit goes down. I come into this thing, I have, was it 4 turns after that? 3 or 4 turns, just do some damage with my Mantike. Like, Air Slash, Blizzard, like, Scald, Surf. And if I'm running this thing defensive, you know, even though it's not too good in this tier, Toxic, I mean, this thing has Haze, so things can't stop in front of me. I even have Agility, man. I could run that. Pretty good pick for me. I mean, it's probably my least favorite pick out of my entire draft, but that's probably saying something. Next, we have Little Jackie, totally not another stolen nickname. 3 abilities here that are all amazing. Intimidate, great for switching into, what do you call it, physical attackers. Flash Fire, deters opponents from going for Fire type move. Justified, just in case I switch in on a Dark type move, that can boost my attack, you know. Something I didn't realize until earlier on, this thing gets the same in attack and special attack stat. So it means I could run, like, this thing has Close Combat, Crunch, Fire Blast, Flame Charge if you want to go that route, Flamethrower if you don't want to miss, Flare Blitz, Outrage for certain purposes, Morning Sun for some reliable recovery, Toxic, Will-O-Wisp, Wild Charge, like, I mean, I could even run Flynium Z on this thing. I'd love to see what that looked like, actually. Yeah, I just feel like it's such a good pick. I was hoping for this thing from a really early round, and I was actually able to grab it. Love that. Next, we have the shield Dawn. Now, I needed something that resists flying. I mean, I have Grandos, but that's, what do you call it? That's not the best. It's quite frail. So I was thinking, my thoughts for this one was, well, this thing 4 times resists flying. I mean, it's 4 times weak to fire and, no, not fire, fighting and ground, and I think it's 2 times weak to water as well. But I mean, like, say I switched in on a Doduo, for example, right? Doduo goes for a Brave Bird. That, while that would knock me out my sturdy range, I do have Endure. If I can spell Endure, nope, there we go, Endure. I can live with 1 HP. Then get my bear juice back up and then either force it out or just kill it right there. Tremendous. I've never used shield on before, so it's going to be very interesting. The amazing defensive stat as well will definitely help me in the future. And last but and actually pretty good SPDF if I don't say so myself. Never actually looked at that before. And my last pick is your boy, your Mask. I never realized I didn't have a ghost type until this point. And then I realized, oh, there's not very many ghost types left. So, yeah, let me just pick one up here. Now, while this isn't like your ideal ghost type, it's definitely not too bad. I mean, Mummy can shut down things that rely on their ability. This thing, Dark Pulse, Destiny Bond if you want to go that route, Energy Ball, Hex, like Toxic Spikes, which I love this thing getting. I mean, just getting residual damage on something is tremendous, any matter. I mean, Toxic Spikes, Hex is some set. Trick, if you're like wanting to run choice specs, want to give that to like a Scraggy or something that switches in on you. You never know. Will-O-Wisp to shut down physical attackers as well. I'm gonna get Memento, which could help with the stealth for Shelter. It's against knockoff. Definitely not a bad pick, I don't think. It's not the level of useless as Combi. Like the stats on this thing, they're not terrible. They're not amazing, but they're not terrible. I definitely think I can make this thing work. But yeah, so that's my draft. Tell me what you think. Yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Please go on with your day. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.